The fight between Senior Counsel Ahmednassir Abdullahi and Martha Koome has once again broken out. I want us to have a look at a post shared out by Senior Counsel through his X account. The post is going to inform the basis of our analysis. Ahmednassir Abdullahi Senior Counsel, both the Ford Foundation and Mr. Darren Walker must know too well that the Kenyan Supreme Court is a rotten court, not fit for purpose and ripe to be disbanded. I'm utterly dismayed that as a Chief Justice who was rigged to office by the Uhuru regime, you graduated last in your class, number 113, in a class of 113, and with a pass degree, and is supremely unqualified for the job. In your interview for Chief Justice, you failed to bring a sample of your writing as you had none, and instead brought a judgment authored by 3 judges. The vetting board tied 4-4 votes, and that is why you were retained. There are serious misgivings on your competence notwithstanding. The vetting board also said you can't write or communicate in a coherent manner. You have the temerity to mislead the Ford Foundation and Mr. Walker and speak of the court in the conventional sense that Supreme Courts are appraised and praised in other parts of the world. The earlier you resign, the better. I passionately plead with you to honorably resign so that the court and the judiciary are not destroyed by your sheer incompetence. And then the senior counsel attached a post shared out by Honorable Justice Martha Koome upon meeting the Ford Foundation president. I hosted the Ford Foundation Global Board led by President Darren Walker alongside judges of the Supreme Court of Kenya to discuss our shared commitment to advancing social justice. That is a post that angered Senior Counsel Ahmednassir Abdullahi, after which he shared out that post we have just read. I want us to dig deep into this for Kenyans to understand what's going on behind the scenes. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's dig deep. Ahmednassir Abdullahi is raising some serious issues worth highlighting on. He's saying that the Chief Justice graduated last in a class of 113. She was number 113. She only managed a pass. And that during the vetting board said she could not communicate or write in a coherent manner, and that Uhuru Kenyatta just rigged her in. So she was, in the first place, very much incompetent to be the Chief Justice. I want us to dissect all that, to understand what that means. I wholly agree with Senior Counsel that Martha Koome is very, very much incompetent. She's coming out as a person who can easily be manipulated, and that's why in 2022, when Raila Odinga filed a petition challenging William Ruto's win, even though there was some glaring evidences that that election failed to pass the test of accountable election, Koome and her bench saw nothing wrong with that, and they described Raila's petition as hot air. A smart Chief Justice ought to have read things between the lines to see that that election had some serious issues. She never saw that. Ruto's intention, as I talk, is to compromise the judiciary. And even maybe a little child knows that already parliament is compromised. The so-called independent institutions are all compromised. Ruto's main intention now is to compromise the judiciary. When he invited Martha Koome to State House Nairobi, as the president of the judiciary, as the Chief Justice, Koome ought not to have attended that meeting, simply because attending that meeting created a feel that now Martha Koome had sold the independence of the judiciary to William Ruto. And that in one way or the other killed the trust Kenyans had on our judiciary. So Martha Koome's continued stay as the Chief Justice is surely killing our judiciary. If you compare Koome and Maraga, Maraga brought sanity and respect to our courts. Martha Koome, the Chief Justice, is taking back our courts to the Moi days, where the courts were just being used by the government to settle some political scores. And from what we are seeing happening, it's clear political scores are being settled through the courts. That's something we have started seeing, where the government just targets its critics and then takes them to court. And recently we saw that with Margaret Nyakango. So Martha Koome is actually killing our courts. And Martha Koome, upon meeting the Ford president, he said, I hosted the Ford Foundation Global Board led by President Darren Walker alongside judges of the Supreme Court of Kenya to discuss our shared commitment to advancing social justice. Is Martha Koome in a position to advance social justice? The answer is a very big no. In fact, she's in a position to curtail that social justice she's talking about. So her continued stay as the Chief Justice is killing our judiciary. If you look at the senior counsel, I've always maintained in this forum that senior counsel is not in any way better than Martha Koome. They are chips of the same pot. In the eyes of a majority of Kenyans, they are seen as corrupt individuals. So senior counsel attacking Martha Koome is just like a pot calling the kettle black. In the eyes of a majority of Kenyans, they are all not qualified to talk on issues of integrity. That's something coming out very, very clearly. And if it's indeed true, Uhuru Kenyatta rigged Martha Koome through the back door, then it's actually true that Uhuru Kenyatta, for having rigged somebody incompetent, also faced the wrath of Martha Koome's incompetence. That was as a result of the ruling that came from the Supreme Court in 2022. So Uhuru Kenyatta was also just served his dish for sneaking Koome through the back door, if at all it's true. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Those watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis.